everybody. I'm Alan Acton from Cary Family Dental, and I'm here today with Dr. Matt Bostian, one of our dentists here, and we're going to spend a little bit of time getting to know you a little better. So welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So there are a lot of things about you that I find interesting, but one of the things that I find really interesting is what you did right after college. Like me, you took some time off before you went back to dental school. So can you talk a little bit about what you did with those years?
Yeah, sure. So in undergrad, I was studying biomedical engineering and realized that I didn't want to do that. I just didn't see people often enough. I spent a lot of time in the lab by myself late at night on Friday. And Demi, my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, was going to do something called Teach for America. I had never heard of it, and she told me a little bit about it, and I thought, well, why would you volunteer to teach kids for 2 years? And then she told me that you got paid to do it. And I was like, oh, I think I can do that. So I did Teach for America for 2 years. I worked in a high school, or at a high school in Charlotte. Mm-hmm. I taught biology and anatomy and physiology. I'd mentored other younger students in high school and up through undergraduate and college, and I thought that might be something that I would like to do, something that I could make a little bit of a difference doing, and make a little bit of money for the first time in my life. So we went to a boot camp, like a training camp for 2 months that summer, where they basically teach you how to be a teacher, and then they just throw you into the classroom, and you try to figure it out as you go. So it was a really good experience. It was super hard though, so I have a ton of respect for every teacher that who I meet now.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's somewhat different than being a regular teacher. So what is Teach for America, and how does that differ from like going into maybe a traditional type high school? Or
Right. Yeah. So Teach for America focuses on placing usually new graduates, new college graduates into lower income, like underserved, underprivileged schools. And then they really focus on using your energy and like your passion and drive to do the best like that you can in the classroom. So even though you aren't classically trained to be a teacher, they're really counting on you to like give everything you have to doing a good job for the kids.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So I know that then you lived up in New York for a year or so, and you moved back down here. I'm curious about how you were a teacher, then you went to dental school, and then eventually you moved back down here.
Yeah.
How is it that your passion for teaching has also transferred into dentistry? What's kind of the overlap there that you've seen?
Yeah. I think that's a great question. So one thing that I love about this job is forming relationships with my patients. And really taking the time to explain what's going on, like what I see happening in their mouth, and then the consequences of not treating or the benefits of treating, and then the different options that they have, because ultimately, we're here to do the dentistry, but we want the patient to be the one like making sure that it's the right treatment for them.
Right.
So I've really enjoyed that, and I think that at least it seems to me like my patients appreciate when I do take the time to really sit down and explain things and just try to educate them, because so many people have no idea what's going on in their mouths, and like we can't blame them, because it took us 4+ years just to figure it out ourselves.
Right. Yeah, and there's a lot of things to explain, and I would think that having that background in teaching has really aided you in being able to take a complex subject sometimes and boil it down to make it easy for all of us to understand. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about like some of the things that you really like about dentistry. I mean, there's a lot of things that we like, and one of the things I like about dentistry is that really you can choose almost any different part of dentistry and make that part your career. But as a general dentist, you've said I want to be more of somebody who focuses on a lot of different things. But within that, what are some of the things that you have found to be most interesting and most passionate about?
Yeah. So my residency was at the VA hospital, or at a VA hospital in New York in the Bronx, and most of my patients there had really complex things going on in their mouths, and I really liked trying to put all the pieces together to work on a complex case and make everything come together in the end. So I think I've really enjoyed working with implants, working with replacing missing teeth for people, and then really rehabilitating broken down smiles, broken down teeth, and kind of just helping them put it all back together.
Yeah. So, and I think you were biomedical engineering when you were an undergrad,
Yep.
right, UNC. And so sometimes things don't necessarily come clear until we look at them in retrospect. But as I kind of look at your career, it's like what you're doing now in dentistry is putting people back together,
Yeah.
right? And then you had the part of teaching where you were educating folks, and then you had the biomedical engineering part. It's like the last 20 years have all come together to make this. To make you a better dentist. I don't know if you ever thought about it quite like that,
Yeah.
but it's kind of neat to think about that.
Yeah,
So.
it does seem like I've ended up in the right place.
Yeah.
It feels like it.
Yeah, that's great. Well, that's great. So, and outside of dentistry, what are some of the things that you really enjoy doing?
Anything outside, I spend a lot of time on my bikes.
Yeah.
So I mostly mountain bike now. I have another bike that I just kind of cruise around town on. My wife and I live in Carborough, so we can ride our bikes to the farmer's market or to the restaurant and the grocery store. I like to go on runs. I like to trail run.
Yeah.
I recently bought a stand-up paddleboard. So every day driving home, I drive across Jordan Lake and I see people out on the lake, like with the sun setting at 6 o'clock, and I thought I got to get one of those. So I ended up buying one. It showed up on our front doorstep, and my wife looked at me and said, "What did you buy this time?"
That's awesome.
So yeah, pretty much if I'm not here, I'm probably outside doing something.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I really enjoy working with you, and I know
Yeah.
from working with you that what a great dentist you are, and how much your patients enjoy getting to know you and getting the treatment done with them. So I appreciate your time here today.
Absolutely.
And
thanks for having me.
yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you soon.